Hello and welcome to episode 27 of IOnTheTigers, a podcast all about the National Ice Hockey League, but one that always has an eye on the Telford Tigers. Couple of bits of signing, transfer, movement news this week to kick us off. So the first one, Callie Robertson. It's been announced he has left Milton Keynes Lightning, and probably within a couple of hours of that announcement from the Lightning, the Solway Sharks announced a new signing. Guess who? Yeah, that's right, Callie Robertson. So he'll be lacing them up for the Sharks. Leeds Knights have also announced a new signing as well. So apologies if I've mispronounced, Innes Gallagher has joined them. He'd been playing with Kilmarnock Thunder and Widnes Wild, but he is joining them, made his debut over the weekend. Speaking of the weekend, it's best to get straight into the results. And the weekend actually started a day early, if you like. So Friday evening game saw the Hull Seahawks host the Solway Sharks. Home team ran out the winners, 6-3 win there for Hull on home ice. Moving on to Saturday's fixtures. First up, the Tigers. So the Tigers hosted the Raiders. Close game, but the Raiders won it 6-5 in overtime. Watched the game on the stream. Start the second was just, very strange. So the second started with Raiders being in a 3-1 lead. By the time the first minute of the second period had gone, it was 3-3. And by the time the second minute of the second period had gone, it was 5-3 to the Raiders. So 4 goals, 2 apiece in the opening 2 minutes of the second period. Really strange start there. Other games the weekend on Saturday. So the Wildcats were back on home ice for the best part of 3 months. They hosted the Steel Dogs and they ran out very comfortable 8-2 winners. By all accounts, it was a really strong performance there from the Wildcats in front of their home fans. Lightning hosted the Bees, 5-2 win for the Lightning. And the Pitbulls hosted the Phantoms. Close game this, finished 4-3 to the Phantoms, so 2 points on the road there for them. Sunday, just before we take a look at the National League fixtures, in North 2, Tigers 2 travelled up to Billingham Buccaneers. Low scoring affair this one, finished Billingham Buccaneers 1, Tigers 2. In the National League, the National League Tigers side, they travelled down to Slough to take on the Bees. Another game that went to overtime, and again, another game in which the Tigers lost in overtime. Bees winning the game 4-3. Also on Sunday, the Wildcats hosted the Knights. It was a 3-2 win for the Knights, although it did take overtime to separate them. Went along to this one. Really good game. 2 very good sides there. Overtime, probably did need that to separate them, to be fair. There didn't seem to be much between them yesterday. Knights, I would say, did have the better of the game, but not sort of overwhelmingly so. Wildcats definitely sort of stood toe-to-toe with them. Some really good hits as well. It was a really enjoyable game to watch. Other games on the Sunday, so Seahawks hosted the Pitbulls. Unlike Bees and Tigers and Wildcats Knights, this one was not close in the slightest. This one finished Seahawks 11, Pitbulls 1. And then the final 2 games from Sunday were Phantoms hosted the Sharks, and it was a 5-3 win for the Phantoms. And Raiders hosted the Steel Dogs, and the Steel Dogs won that one 4-2. So, looking ahead, we've got some midweek action before just the Saturday. Sunday will be the Christmas Eve, so just the Saturday this coming weekend. So on Thursday night, Wildcats host the Bees. Judging from what I saw on the Wildcats Knights game, I can only see one winner in this one. Wildcats to win that one, and I think it'll be reasonably comfortable. Could see a 3, maybe 4 goal winning margin in that one for the Wildcats. Friday night, Knights host the Seahawks. This one could be pretty feisty. I'm going to go for Knights to win it, but there could be some penalty minutes in that game. Moving on, the Saturday. First up, Wildcats host the Tigers. I'd love to say the Tigers are going to win it, but I I don't know. I can't see it. Granted, it'll be the fourth game for the Wildcats in a week, but I make them favourites to win it. Unfortunately, I think they've got enough about them to beat the Tigers. Other games: Raiders host the Sharks, Seahawks host the Knights, Steel Dogs host the Bees, and Pitbulls host the Lightning. So in terms of predictions, Raiders against Sharks, I will go for Sharks to win it in overtime. Seahawks host the Knights. I don't know if the Seahawks to win at home, but it will take overtime to separate them. Steel Dogs host the Bees, Steel Dogs to win that one, and Pitbulls host the Lightning, Lightning to win on the road. In terms of the game of the weekend, for me, I'm really interested to see how Raiders Sharks goes. Two teams down towards the bottom of the league, so yeah, a win there for either side is going to be a really, really big victory, you think. So that concludes my predictions for the upcoming week and indeed this episode of Eye on the Tigers. As always, get in contact, leave a comment, let me know what you think of my predictions, make your own predictions. Till next week, bye for now.